Good afternoon. So I totally brain farted last night on our last tarot teaching moment go live when I said that I would be back tonight at the same time, same place, because I'm working at the Grand Slam tonight at that time. So like I generally have to do on the Thursdays I work at the Grand Slam, I am doing my go live early in the day so that you guys can just catch it when it's convenient for you. And then we keep up with our studies with our tarot. So I'm just going to jump right into what we're covering. So briefly, last night we had covered the Eight of Cups, and in a nutshell, our character in the card was leaving all these things that did not leave him with a sense of fulfillment and that joy and happiness. That's why we've got a gap here. And he was just kind of going with the flow of the river and seeing where it took him to find what was essentially missing in his life. And again, when I talk tarot, I'm talking about the energy of the card. So even though I'll say it doesn't matter. It's the overall energy of the card. And I always say that in case somebody doesn't watch my go lives and it's their first time watching me go live. So I would say if you did not tune in to hear me teach about this card, feel free to check that one out because it'll make a lot of sense with what we're covering today. So basically the gentleman left on that journey, and today we find him and we've got the Nine of Cups. And so that cup that was missing in the Eight of Cups, our character found the cup. Because here we see the cups nicely, evenly spaced and lined up behind him. And the character, his stance is more so of an open stance. And he looks very proud of himself with his accomplishments. And so this is the Roman numeral for 9. And I always talk to you guys about assessing body language. If they're looking directly at you, if not, which way are they looking? And of course, colors and what's in the background. So when we see blue, we have tranquility and truth. And let's see here, his hat is red, so that shows victory. And I like how he's got the feathers coming from the hat too. So he feels very accomplished with himself. And then as far as the color of his garment, honestly, it's hard for me to tell. It might be a very kind of light blue, white color. The feet, the shoes are colored yellow, the same as, say, the background and the floor. So there's a lot of knowledge, enlightenment, warmth. So our character, who was in the Eight of Cups, and he went and searching for what was missing, okay, he found it here. So basically this is called the wish card, meaning that the things that we wish for in our lives, whether it be romantic relationships, friendships, career, they do well. This is known as literally the wish card. So it's a really good time if someone gets this card to put forth the actions to attain their goals. It can also mean literally a birth. So we've got a total of 9 cups, and a female, when they're pregnant, is generally pregnant for 9 months before they deliver. So it can mean that. It can mean that a relationship is advancing. So things are getting a bit serious, career advancements, finances are looking good. This card overall reflects extreme happiness. Now let's say if you were to get this and it would be reversed, then unfortunately we've got more of the ego coming into play. There can be inadequate communication with others that prevents somebody from meeting their goals because they're not putting the correct attitude, that positive attitude, out into the universe to get that good back into their lives. Or there could be other obstacles or barriers, but it would start with that individual working on themselves before their desires would be successfully met as when it's upright. Now, it can also mean that, someone is dealing with somebody who's very narcissistic. So it could be somebody literally who's taking from the cups for their own immediate needs without much consideration, say, for your own or the person you're reading for. So that's another way of looking at that. I'm going to review some of the things I have written down here. So I had mentioned that with meanings, we're looking at happiness. It's living your truth. You're putting the right attitude out into the universe, and you're putting in the work, and you're getting good things back. Relationships and careers prosper. I had mentioned about how this card can reflect that somebody is about to give birth if they haven't already. Again, we're at that 9-month mark. We've got 9 cups. And then finding self-satisfaction. Again, this gentleman is just very proud of himself for all of his hard work and efforts. And around him, it's so bright and yellow. Like, even with knowing nothing about this card, you can look at this, take in the general body language and the overall predominant yellow theme, and come to the conclusions that this is a good card, especially given the journey that this character has been on throughout this suit of cups, which as of tomorrow, when we cover the 10 of cups, we'll be at the end of the suit of cups, and then we'll delve into the court cards for cups. But I mean, he is approaching the very near end of his journey, so this is a good thing. So when it's reversed, so like I'd mentioned, we're talking about ego, self-centered, smugness, and that can turn people off quicker than anything. Again, dealing with a narcissist whose only, concern is their self-gain. Never-ending desires, left feeling unfulfilled. So say with our 8 of Cups last night, how he went in search of what was missing, it could mean, if this is reversed, that this character still hasn't found it. And it's like a bottomless pit of just feeling unfulfilled. So say if it's in reverse, the energy's off. So it's not a good time to start projects. In sharp contrast to if this is upright, then it would be a good time. So that, in general, is what I wrote down for this card, which is, again, is based in Rider-Waite-Smith, which is the foundation of tarot. So now we'll look at other cards for comparison. With this one, we have a lady, and I love her hair. It's so pretty. I love that bun. It's a messy bun, and all of her cups have these beautiful flowers growing from them. So it shows all of her hard efforts to have the right relationships, career, financial stability, the things that she's wanted to accomplish have come to fruition. Like, she's finally seeing the results of her hard work, and she's simply enjoying it. She's not even thinking about the next thing on the horizon she wants to accomplish. She's simply existing and smelling the flowers, marveling about their beauty, and just, again, being very present, This card is from my Wonderland deck, and it shows the caterpillar, and I think they call the device that he's smoking from a hookah. Correct me if I'm saying it wrong, but I think that's called a hookah. And it's the same as our Rider-Waite-Smith, to where the cups are all lined up, and he's sitting on this pillar, and he's very much comfortable. And he's just being very present, And actually, if you look at it, so this hookah that he's smoking from actually comes from the cups. Isn't that a trip? So that means that he's just enjoying and taking in all of his accomplishments. So I see somebody's on, but I cannot see who it is. So just say hi to me if you don't mind, just so I know who's on here. And then in the background, we've got lush green surroundings. The trees may have just lost their leaves. So, who knows? Maybe this is like early fall. So yeah, so I think overall that is really cool when you look at that. Here's one with a crow, and all of the crow's cups are full. They all have bounty. We have the sun in the background. So we've got that warmth, illumination, knowledge, happiness. We've got big, beautiful yellow sunflowers and predominant colors in blue. So we have truth and tranquility when you think of the color blue. With this one, we have the lady who is suspended in the air and her arms are open wide, and it's like she's welcoming in all the good in her life. She has treated people well. She's worked hard with her romantic relationships, personal relationships like friendships, her career. The things that she's wanted to accomplish are finally having that end result that she's hoping for. And she's just marveling. She's just very much present in that bright, beautiful yellow sunshine. And it shows treasure right here. And I mean, to me, it could be literal wealth when we're talking finances. Somebody's doing really well financially. But it also, could be more than just literal riches in life. Like she's got riches in the heart from these relationships. She may have a career where she's able to help other people, and it feels good to be able to help others, and also take care of herself, not just other people, but giving back to herself and making herself a priority. So I think that's beautiful. And all these cups are just up in the air, and it's just like she's thrown them, it's like confetti. She's celebrating all these great things, and it's not worrying about the next thing coming up. She's simply being happy in the moment. Not even the clouds are taking over this predominant yellow color in the card, And then I always end it with a card not based in Rider-Waite-Smith. With this one, it's not as bad as some of the other ones from the deck where I get like no meaning whatsoever. But with this, we've got a chalice. And there's these beautiful pink roses coming from it. And then at the base of the chalice, there's a snake that's wrapped its way around it. And so when I see that, I think snakes are the equivalent of change because they grow and shed their skin when it no longer serves them. And they're quite resilient and beautiful. Even though some people will disagree with me, some people hate snakes, and to each their own. I think that they're beautiful. Even though I'm not crazy enough to play with all snakes, I actually think they're pretty cool. But getting back to the meaning of this, though, it means that the changes were made, embraced. We've got firm roots at the end of this, or not the end, but the base of the chalice. And we've had that beautiful growth. So the individual last night who was in that Eight of Cups found what they were looking for. They found the missing cup. They have found that beauty in what is missing. And there's so much joy in this card. So this one, it's not so bad. Again, really pretty art. And I like the incorporation of the snake, So, and then I will hold these cards up so you can see them side by side. And again, look for the symbols that it has in common when you look at each. Yeah, I love that. That's like so spot on for that card, You got those yellow color schemes, the blue. I like how the colors with the cards, they have that in common, because you can still get so much meaning, even if the picture's different, just from those commonalities that it shares with the Rider-Waite-Smith, And this one, honestly, other than the chalice, which would be the cup, that's the only thing I see in common. And this would be the one not based in Rider-Waite-Smith. So yeah, it's overall, it's a really good card to get. Very thought-provoking if you get it in reverse, though. So that sums us up today for this card. And then tomorrow we will do the 10 of Cups, which is really exciting. That means, hey guys, we did it. We're at the end of the Suit of Cups. And just know, I get this is a lot of info that we generally cover. And you know I'm a bit wordy because I like to talk. I always have. Feel free to find, if you draw a card when you're pulling one on your daily draws and it's stumping you and you want further insight and you can't quite remember what all was said about it, of course you can find it in this group, but I post quite a bit in my group, so it would be way more convenient and easier just to go onto YouTube and find it under the correct category, and you can play it that way. And of course, I'm here if you have any questions. And of course, our colleagues are in our group too, they share an interest in tarot. And you know, I feel like we've got a great group. So feel free to leave, like in the commentary or chat group, any questions that you might have so that we all grow together and that it's a safe space where people can ask questions. And feel very much supported, and then we can gain different perspectives and different ways of looking at these cards, which help us evolve with our reading. So as always, I appreciate you guys immensely. I hope that you're having a good day wherever you may be right now. And of course, if you're not in the mood to make supper, or when you look at the food specials at the Grand Slam and you're like, ooh, that looks good, feel free to go and grab you some food. And I will be there tonight with Sharon and Kyle, and we'll be doing readings from 5 to 10. So yeah, feel free to drop by and get a reading. And I would love to meet a lot of you in person if you're in the area, especially if we haven't seen each other in a while, or if I've never met you at all. I love and value, you know, face-to-face, you know, relationships and getting to know people, because I'm Southern. That's just what we do, is we get to know people and say hi. So that would mean the world to me just to see you and at least meet you, you know. So yeah, I think this will wrap this up, and I will see you tomorrow. Stay warm out there, guys, and be safe. Bye.